Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome back to Final Fantasy VII.
I want you to know that I didn't dislike him.
Who? Who didn't you dislike?
Gotta admit, he was a strange dude. Just when you thought he was cool, he'd go and do some damn fool thing. And when you thought he was smart, he'd show you how stupid he was.
You're talking about Cloud, aren't you? Good boy.
Everything about him, from his movements to his speech, were kinda odd. You know, knowing what I do now, I can see why it was that way. Well, as long as you stay alive, you might just see him again someday. So cheer up, sister.
Ew. I'll be able to see him someday.
If we can find out where he is, the high wind will get us there in no time.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. Maybe. Cloud is still stuck deep in the North Crater, where the ground cracked and swallowed him up. Okay. Buried in the depths of the underground. Deep within the earth. Are you talking about the life stream? The life stream sometimes gushes out to the surface from cracks in the ocean floor. I heard that such a place exists. Okay. So as you can tell, maybe, just maybe, Clouds. So the next part of our story is actually going to be going to track down Cloud, as you can see.
What? Cloud always got to be around. We did fine without him in the beginning. Just we did. Right, and what about a tough girl like that? What happened to the tough girl I used to know? Where'd she go to?
Oh, Barrett's jealous. Oh, Tifa, I'll give you information. This is stuff we've already heard. So yes, the next story here, happy Thursday, by the way, is going to be about searching for Cloud.
What the hell you doing?
Oh, I love it. So these are all pilots in training, and Sid gives them crap the beginning of this game. They eventually do level up, and so he starts to respect him a little bit, but, Captain Sid!
Tifa, sorry, but I gotta show this moron how to land the ship. Don't worry, it'll be done in a minute. Hold my beer. Oh, and Tifa, no matter what your goal is, you've gotta be prepared. Go to your room and get ready for our operation.
Now, he says go to your room, but in the map of the High Wind, there really isn't personal quarters. What he means is go over to the operation room and kind of pick a party. So that's really what we're going to do right now in this next phase. Tifa, thank you for a job well done. And yes, the next phase is going to be tracking down Cloud. For some reason, Tifa believes that he's still alive and he's still on their side. So she wants to go and see if she can find him. So that's really what you're going to be doing for at least a chunk of Disc 2. Is after all the revelations that happened and meteors here and weapons on the rampage, Tifa just can't live without Cloud right now. This is why in a lot of cases I like to ship Tifa and Cloud over Aeris and Cloud. Aeris has already got a boyfriend in the afterlife. Where are we going? We're off. I love it. He's level 4, so, you know, he needs a little bit of work. And here we go. So we are officially on our way out, and you could see Meteor off in the distance now. But we have access to the High Wind, which is our airship, and really helpful now. So, like, the whole world is at our disposal. I like the fact that they actually put you on the ground, put you through the continents, and then gave you full access. That was actually really cool. But the first thing that we're actually going to take on is a side quest that you can get started right now. And we'll have a very, very awesome yield for rare items. In fact, 4 of the most rare pieces of materia are given with this side quest. And so we're going to go ahead and talk to Choco Bill over the Chocobo Ranch. It's been a while since we've been here.
Oh, what's that? What has this world come to? Stars falling and everything? With the way things they are now, how about raising a chocobo? No, I'm not trying to persuade you for money, it's just because of the state of the things in the world. And the money. I thought that it would be a good and healthy thing for you to raise some chocobos. You just happen to be in luck. It just so happens that we aren't taking care of any chocobos for anyone else, so give me your money. I could take care of 6 chocobos right away for 10,000 gil per chocobo. How about it? 10,000. But thankfully, I'm a grinder, so this is really like chump change to me. To raise a chocobo, you'll need a chocobo stable, and they rent for 10,000 gil. Currently, I could rent up to 6 chocobo stables. If you rent a chocobo stable, we'll keep up to 4 of the chocobos you catch in the fenced area outside. At a later date, you can select the chocobo that you would like to put in your chocobo stable. Chocobo stables cost 10,000 gil, like I've said. Are you gonna rent? All right, thank you. My grandson takes care of the chocobos. He's in the chocobo stable at the far right end of the farm. Please tell him what you want. So this is where you can get a lot of questions answered, but we're just gonna rent out all 6 stables because 10,000 gil is chump change to me right now. And this is actually the minigame. We're gonna be catching and doing a lot of maintenance with chocobos, including breeding. So you guys get to see that because as we breed, as we go move things along, if you get the right chocobos, you can get rare color variations of chocobos, which get more access to the world. As you can see, the original chocobos, they don't have a whole lot of access. But, excuse me, once we get some of these multicolored chocobos, we can get access to being able to travel over mountains, being able to travel through rivers, things like that. And eventually we'll get one that basically just unfolds the entire world to us. So let's go ahead and talk to Choco Billy in the stable. Just get things going. Welcome. So this is just how you get things started, and the big thing that we're going to be worrying about right now is greens. Thankfully, we already have the Chocobo lure materia, and in my grinding, I've actually mastered it, so I get kind of a... It's not 100%, but it's like a 75% increased chance to get a Chocobo in your encounter. And right now, we're just purchasing greens, because the other thing that we're going to be doing with these Chocobos is feeding them to increase their stats. Eventually, in order to get optimal breeding, you're going to want to eventually race them. And yeah, I'm talking in the Gold Saucer. So you thought you were done with that minigame? No. It's going to come into play now. And yeah, we don't have access to it right now, but it actually is a really great way to kind of optimize your Chocobo for the best breeding yield. And the next thing I'm going to show off here, first of all, by going to the North Crater, and look at that barrier that's now up where we were before. Well, boom!
What the hell was that? That came buzzing past here like a powerhouse.
And that's what happens every time. You cannot go back into the crater. But you can come down to this convenient little cabin that we haven't come across. Oh, and look at that. That's a green Chocobo right there. What? And if you talk to him, you can get another enemy skill materia in case you didn't have one already. It's unusual for people to come to such an out-of-the-way pace. Oh, I can't remember how many years it's been since the last person came. It's been a while. Who are you? Me? I don't know. What? You don't know who you are? Well, it's been a while since I gave it any thought. Wonder what they used to call me. Oh yeah, they used to call me the Chocobo Sage, that's right. Right, that was it, the Chocobo Sage. I'd like to think he's a distant cousin of Chocobo. Who'd forget that? Now what can I do for you? So you can sell me something. He actually has the best greens in the game if you're going to be doing breeding, but they're expensive, as you can see. So we're going to go ahead and grab a few of these. Now you'll notice also nuts in the chart. Those are for breeding, but these are not the nuts that you want to be able to breed. Now what can I do for you? You're going to want to collect those in your spare time out in the world. Oh, let me see now. I don't quite remember. Oh, and occasionally this guy will give you advice on breeding Chocobos. He kind of hints at the fact that you can get multiple ones. Now what can I do for you? You remember something? Let's see now. I don't quite remember. And it takes a while for him to remember anything. Basically, I was asking about the Chocobo in his house. And saying, oh, how on earth did he get that? And it takes them a while to answer that question. But thankfully, I already know the answer, and it's just basically a mini game that we're going to be doing in Final Fantasy VII, because it has the best yield for the best items. Now, what can I do for you? Remember something? I see now. Don't quite remember. It takes them a while, so we're not going to worry about getting all of these, but basically, the Chocobo that he has, the green one, is otherwise known as the Mountain Chocobo. And so that's the one that can actually traverse mountain ranges. We'll eventually get access to a blue one, which can traverse rivers. So basically like the tiny Bronco. The green one is not necessarily like the buggy that we have, because it can't go up and down mountains. Eventually, we'll also get access to the black Chocobo, which can do both. It can go over mountain ranges as well as go into shallow areas of water like the tiny Bronco. And finally, the ultimate goal here is to get the gold Chocobo. And the gold Chocobo can go virtually anywhere. The difference being is, like, he can go over mountains, he can go in shallow water, but he can also go in deep water. And deep water is where that becomes a really awesome thing, because the items in question are in very remote areas that you can't take the airship to land. So this is kind of what I'm doing for grinding now, on top of the actual level grinding that I was doing. So that's going to take a little bit of time, and actually I did do some grinding breaks in between to be able to help that process along, so that we can get the ideal Chocobos that we want, and also be able to get the breeding going as well. So this is actually where I kind of transitioned into actually doing the farming. So, to start things off, the two areas that we actually need to go to, and one of them I'll show on camera, the other one I won't, just because we'll be going to that area anyway, and I'll point it out. We're actually in the Gold Saucer area, and this yields one of the types of Chocobos that we need. But first we need to get the Chocobo Lure into our inventory. I think Tifa has it now. So all you got to do is, as we saw earlier in the game, just walk along these Chocobo tracks, and eventually you'll come across Surfer Music. When you get Surfer Music, there's a Chocobo in that encounter. All you have to do is make sure you don't hurt the Chocobo, and feed it greens to keep it distracted while you take care of the enemies around it. So now that I've given you this massive Chocobo tutorial, that's also going to be one of the things that we're going to be doing from here on in the game. We'll get back to level grinding, but really I'm not necessarily going to go back to level grinding until we get Cloud back. Mainly because I want to make sure that we get him too, but also you can't race until you have Cloud. Yeah, spoiler alert, you are going to get Cloud back. Come on. He's that popular, guys. Do you really think they'd kill him off? Well, they did kill off Eris. I didn't think that one through. Here we go. So, big Chimera. All you gotta do is distract the ever-loving crap out of that Chocobo. Crap. Crap, you're taking too long, Drak. You're taking too long. If it hits you enough times, the Chocobo's gonna get scared. And the Chocobo's scared. Well, that sucks. So now I don't even care about this encounter anymore, because no freaking Chocobo. And so now that I've actually got a lot of the Chocobo tutorials out of the way, there are a couple things that I need to update via the channel, just to bring people up to speed, because I do know a majority of you guys watch the Final Fantasy playthroughs. One of which is the summer update. If you haven't watched that, go watch it. In fact, there was one other thing that I didn't address in it, and that is Drak Vlogs. Here's how Drak Vlogs is going to work. We're still going to do like the E3 vlogs, the BlizzCon vlogs. Those do fairly well. But I'm going to technically take away the TV show vlogs. That's going to come here instead. And it's simply because those individual videos don't really do too much. So I'm just going to add them into here, since, playing some of the older school games that I've been trying to play has been difficult. And if I don't have anything for them, then I can at least go into that for you. Excuse me. Got a nasty cough right now. Whoa, jeez. Okay. The other thing that jeez. Okay. The other thing that I need to update really quick is just a quick reminder that next week is a podcast week. And yes, even with the new schedule, podcast weeks are in effect. So next week, there will not be Final Fantasy, there will not be Prince of Persia, and there will not be WoW content. However, I am delivering this week the first bit of Battle for Azeroth content as we unlock the High Mountain Tauren allied race. So you guys get that at the very least, and then when we come back next week, we're going to do the unlocking for the Nightborn and just move on from there. So that's another quick update. And yeah, this is usually kind of the point where I get into some of the games that I've been playing, aside from reviews and other things that I've been watching or whatnot. I am happy to say that I have been watching Voltron again. So Voltron Season 4, I just barely got through. Loved every little bit of it. I wish I could theme it and say like this is how it worked. Not really. They kind of just filled out some loose ends in the plots, and it really worked out fairly well for almost every character. Keith, not so sure, and I also am a little wary about Shiro, but it's still pretty freaking good. Like I especially love the twist at the end. That helped out Season 4. And I'm currently making my way through the Punisher Season 1, and I'm just going to go ahead and be honest about it. I'm not liking it, but I don't really like the Punisher. I've never liked the premise of Frank Castle, and so going through a series completely about him, where it worked for Daredevil Season 2, and I liked what they were doing with Frank, now this is a series completely about the darkness that is the Punisher, and it's hard to get into. So I'm not too far into it, but from what I've seen so far, it looks pretty good. I've had very little issues with it. Oh, and this is actually the process of bringing a Chocobo into the stable. This is a good Chocobo. That's what we need. So we're going to go ahead and put it in, and it's a Chocobo male, so we need to keep track of that. Because obviously you need a male and a female to breed. And I think we're just going to keep the name Choco. I think we just keep it. So there you go, Choco. Oh, maybe not. I'm not sure. What am I doing past me? There you go. Now we're actually gonna... I think I was just thinking of a name. Oh... What do I go for? What do I go for? I'm gonna laugh my butt off if I just renamed him Choco. Yep, I did. It's been a while since I've actually recorded this, so we'll just go with Choco. But yeah, that's kind of my wrap-up. I'm like 3 or 4 episodes into Punisher Season 1. Not really liking it. I don't know. I'm in a 50-50 deal. I like some of the stuff they're doing, but a lot of it is just... it's the usual stuff about the Punisher that I just don't like. It's so dark, it's so gritty, it's all that fun stuff. Really, my efforts have actually been re-evaluated into Gundam so that I can get further into that, because if people who have been here for a while know, I made a promise on my on the other channel I do, Drak and Shadow, that I was going to make my way through every single Gundam series, and I've been very lax on that, and it's been very difficult to try and get it going. But now that I have a means to be able to do that, we're going to do it. And this is actually the feeding Chocobo feature, where you can power up the stats of a Chocobo. I shouldn't be doing it with Chocobo like this. I should really be doing it for the rarer ones that I'm trying to breed, but this also helps increase the chance of getting those rarer Chocobos. So there you go. I also kind of started making my way through Voltron Season 5, but I don't want to talk too much about that. I basically did the first episode because I hate cliffhangers, and I wanted to see like where they were going with it, just to see whether or not I was going to be invested. Because they could have easily gone in a really weird and different direction, and it would have sucked. And there's another transition. So this is actually where I got or actually, do I have the second Chocobo by now? Yes, I do. So I have the 2 Chocobos, and this is technically me breeding them to be able to get a rare Chocobo. So let's go ahead and do it. And here we go. Oh, never mind. I'm feeding first, apparently. Some people actually did ask this question of, you should know what you've been doing. I do technically. It's just been a while since I've recorded this, so I don't remember it off the top of my head. Okay, so I think the next step here, just to increase the chances, mating. Which 2 chocobos are you going to mate? So we're going to mate Choco, which is a male, and then we're also going to mate Coco, who is a female. She's actually off in an area that we will name later. And we're going to use a carob nut, which is a rare nut you can get on the northernmost continent. And this should help rig a unique breed. Yay! So now we have a new blue or river chocobo. And it's a female, so we need to keep that in mind. And now it's time to name our lovely little blue chocobo. No, we're not naming it Choco. We're actually going to be creative. We're going to give a unique name to each of the new rare chocobos that we get. And the first one we're going to do, I believe, is Rocco. But no. Never mind. We decided to go a little bit weirder and go with Loco. Because we're staying in theme. So now we have Choco, Coco, and Loco, who's a female. Yay! So great. So now we have at least one step done. We have the blue chocobo, and this is the blue chocobo as well as the green. That's where I'm going to start racing. Because those are the ones we need to increase their stats so we get better chances at rarer chocobos, rare chocobo colors. And we're actually coming up on where I got Coco. This is the area called Mediel. So we're going to head on in here and check out the village just to see if we got any upgrades there. I could have handled that off camera, but you guys like it, so I do it here. I love the Mediel music. Oh, something going crazy in here. But anyhow, that overgram. Move it! Welcome. We always welcome cash. I'm afraid our other customers have already booked it up. Oh, just what can I do for you? He was making himself out to be an inn, and yet he's an item shop. Good on you, buddy. Because that's how it goes in Mediel. Nobody takes anything seriously. Not really. Okay, so the other area that I think we need to go to is here for the weapon shop. And of course, more chocobo sounds. Welcome to the charity store, store of love and courage. What can I get you today? Charity, love, and courage when you have weapons. Somebody needs to teach you what that actually means. But hey, we get crystal bangles. That's really helpful. Boom. And we want to get these two, or actually, no, never mind. We already got the other ones, the rune bracelets, which give double growth for materia. That's really helpful when you're grinding. Thank you very much. Come again. I'm sure you'd like me to come again, but I sadly won't. Because I have all my armor. And I don't care. Now, technically right here is the materia shop. We don't necessarily care about the materia they have right now, but we will later. What can I get you today? So MP+, HP+, Transform, Gravity, and Destruct. Thank you very much. Come again. Nah, screw you. I'm not coming back. You've already annoyed me way too much. So let's go ahead and see what's going on over here. What's the matter? Are you all alone? You got lost, didn't you? Separated from someone you love. Silly thing. Oh, guess it's about a week now since you washed up here on the shore. Poor pokey-headed young thing. Wait, what?
It was really sad, but weird. He was holding this really long sword.
Wait, what? Pokey-headed long sword?
I don't know, the whole thing feels unlucky to me. But the amazing thing was those weird blue eyes.
Oh no, I'm cutting things off! We'll see you guys back next Thursday to see whether or not this is who we think it is.